So you ready?
Oh, okay. Hey, so we're actually here with our last segment of this event, Winning Women, and we want to talk to another winning woman, Miss T's Sweet Treats. Let's give her a hand. So, Tasha, you know, my cousin and I, Lakeisha, she's Brown now. We were actually all just having a conversation. We have a little group conversation we do each week, and we were talking about how much you have transitioned. Like, we looked at, and I don't know if you guys saw like her first creations when she was posting them online, and we look now at what you're doing, and we're like, oh my goodness, is this the first?
Oh wow, that's one.
Oh wow. So she has the transition from 3 years ago. So you have just transitioned into doing so many different things with pastry art. Is what I got my terms correct today. Pastry art. So tell us, first of all, how you started off doing pastry art.
Okay, how I started was, I'm a nurse by profession. I'm a registered nurse. And the way I work is I work on call. So if there are no patients, I don't work. So times were slow, which they are now, but times were slow. And I said to my husband, I said, well, let me see if I can, make a few cakes and sell them, try to make them. Because I didn't want it to all be on him. That's just not fair. So I did, and the first cake sold without question.
Okay.
The young lady never had my product or anything. And I sold my very first cake for $9.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know.
I understand.
I didn't know. But how I came up with the name, actually I had no idea of how to, because I wanted to do some of everything. So what I did was going about my daily activities or whatever, and I was in the ladies' room. Sat down, and all of a sudden God said, Miss T, Sweet Treats.
Wow.
And I say it was God because I know it was, because I tried to change it for the last 2 years, and I can't change it. It's like he won't let me change it. I've come up with some other short names, incredible names that I like,
Right.
but it keeps going back to the very same thing.
Yeah. So your name was God inspired.
That's how I feel. I love it.
Now, give us a rundown of what you actually make. What kinds of items you make?
I do wedding cakes, birthday cakes, regular sheet cakes. I do cupcakes. I do treat tables, which consist of marshmallows, custom cookies, Oreos, custom homemade popcorn, different flavors, candy apples. Yeah, I do a whole range. Because sometimes if people don't want to get a cake from me, I can do the accessories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sidebar, did y'all taste her cupcakes today?
I did. Thank you.
I hope somebody saved me one because I ain't get mine yet, but I ain't gonna say that.
I mean, because we see like the before and after, and like how much you improved. So my question is, at any point did you ever feel like discouraged to the point where you considered like maybe not doing it anymore?
Every day.
Oh, wow.
Even to this point.
Wow.
Because like right now, you see this is not a work of art. This is not how I work because I'm not in my comfort zone. But sometimes I don't know what I'm doing with the cake until I've actually done it.
Okay.
And then when I give it to the customers, like, are they gonna like that cake?
Right.
I see this error, I see that error. I'm not gonna do it anymore. But then I get that confirmation from them, it could be a text or inbox or something. They'll say, this was good, or I love it, or whatever, and that lets me know, okay, well, I'll do it one more day, I start looking to the next weekend or whatever the orders are. So.
And I want to say this about business and any women who are in business. It's tough to be in business, especially if you have a full-time job. So you kind of just spoke to a little bit of my philosophy as well. You kind of just take it one day at a time. It's not that you have to do something super grandiose. Like my first interview was at home in my living room. Like look today. You take one step at a time until you get to where you want to be.
Right.
And if you need to take breaks, you take breaks. You don't make it so overwhelming that it's not something that you can handle. And of course, we seek God and we look for His strategies as to how we transition. In those seasons where life is just a lot, and you may feel like you can't keep your business up. Take a break. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
So I definitely wanted to commend you for that. But without further ado, she's going to give us a demonstration or some technique as to how she does her pastry art.
Well, I've already covered. First disclaimer: the shows y'all see on TV where it's all neat and pristine, that's not how it is. You want to see my kitchen, and Shaka can be a witness. My kitchen sometimes looks like a tornado has gone through it. So don't be, think that TV is what it is, because it's not. And I've cleaned up now, so that's why it's not all messy. But I've already covered the cake and fondant. If this was a real cake, of course it would have layers of buttercream, covered in fondant or whatever the customer wanted. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a quick ruffle pattern, which usually I don't go this fast, and people sometimes wonder how you make a cake look a certain way, and it's really all in practice and technique. How did you do that? How did, I just did it, It's
but
nothing
you're
special.
Gifted. Yeah, you're gifted.
And I've taken classes here and there, just to see what other people are doing more or less.
Right.
But 99% of it, I'm self-taught. I'll see something and I want to
try it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about introducing a new product? Because I know sometimes as any kind of artist, you get sometimes boxed in a little bit. How do you step outside of the fear of like, I'm going to try something new? How do you do that?
I just create it and post it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it takes off. I've had products that I've posted and it's like, I get